Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Doreen Mora Murata, and today I am in the amazing city of Montreal in Canada, where I have been attending the AIDS 2022 conference. And I am here with a very, very amazing person who is a person living with HIV, a U equals U champion, and she has a very, very amazing story, which she is actually going to tell us today. So Mandy, all the way from South Africa, welcome to my YouTube channel today.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
I'm fine as well. How was the conference for you?
It was good, perfect. It has met my expectations, and there was a lot U equals going on globally, and probably I think what excites me most are the endorsements from different countries.
Yeah.
But then Africa was still lagging behind, but we're getting there.
We are. So Mandy, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Mandy said to Gash, hi, hey. From South Africa. I'm living with HIV for 20 years, and I'm married to a negative HIV man. HIV negative man. We met in 2003, and we've got two beautiful daughters. So I lead U equals U from a personal perspective, over and above being a clinician, of course, but I think it resonates well with our story. Yeah.
And let me just frame it in a way that most people are afraid of being in discordant relationships. So how was your disclosure process?
It was not easy, considering that I was rejected 2 times before I met him. And when I met him, I thought he's going to do the same thing that other guys did. And when he promised that he's not going to leave me, he will love me for who I am, I really thought probably he's saying what other people are saying. I didn't trust him, of course, and rejection is painful. So when I met him, I decided just to keep it a secret for 3 months. But again, I told myself that I'm going to use protection, so that by the time I'm ready to disclose, at least he's not going to feel like I deliberately use unsafe sex with him. So by the time I decided to disclose, unfortunately by then I was already in love with him, and I had fears, and I was worried that what if he decided to leave me. So it was a very, very painful experience. I left a letter actually in the night, and went away, and then hoping that he's gonna read the letter and get back to me. Hours and hours went without him getting back to me. That was very frustrating. Actually, it felt like a year waiting for him to tell me what he feels about it. And surprisingly, while I was scared and afraid, by the time we met, 3 hours later after him reading the letter, he said someone told him already. He knew about my status 3 months before I decided to disclose. Someone actually disclosed on my behalf, and that's the stigma that we are carrying with HIV. Because I think one thing that the lady that disclosed my husband, then boyfriend, actually thought she's going to run away after hearing about my story.
And that is actually the reality of many people living with HIV. Like somebody goes behind your back, tells them, hey, that one day HIV positive. And then the person, most of the time, the people run away with them. And you know that. Most of the time they run away. But what would you tell a person living with HIV who is in a disconnect relationship and has the fears of disclosure because of rejection?
You know what? Disclosure, honestly, is not something that is forced to anyone. No one is coerced to disclose, especially considering the psychosocial and mental effects and the emotions that come with rejection. So I think one thing that I would really advise people is to make sure that, as much as we're talking U equals U now, in other countries, U equals U is not used to protect us. So sometimes if you sleep without protection and without disclosing, someone may take you to court. So it's very important while you're still planning to disclose, at least people must use protection and until they are ready, because when you are thinking of disclosing, you really need to think of whether the person may accept you or may not accept you. And in most cases, unfortunately, people with HIV are rejected after disclosure, but there are those beautiful, exceptional cases where partners really decide to stay in the relationship, especially women. We really stay in relationships, but majority of men, immediately after being disclosed, they run away, whether they know their status or not. You know, that's the strange part of it.
Yeah. So, and when we come to talking about you equals you mentioned to have babies. They are HIV negative as well, right?
Yes.
So this is your reality, that you equals you actually, if you're undetectable, you cannot transmit HIV. Women can give birth to negative children. You cannot transmit HIV sexually to your partner, and you are living that reality. So share with us the experience of just that awesome story.
When we wanted to conceive, we got married 2007, and when we wanted to conceive our first daughter, with no proof of treatment as prevention, and we really had to use. We actually have been using protection since we met with my husband. So 2009, when we wanted to conceive, we had to pay thousands of rands just to make sure that he's safe, but at the same time I'm able to have kids. So we had a beautiful daughter. 2010 I gave birth. We call her Welcome in South Africa. So, and then when we wanted to conceive again, 2013, when we were thinking of having our second child, that's when then we thought probably there may be another way. One thing that I really think led to my husband digging more is just maybe he was tired of condom. You know, data has proven that people are not using condom, people get tired of using protection. Probably he was searching for ways of actually making sure that we're not using protection. And he came across this very beautiful data that proved that a person with HIV on treatment, virally suppressed, cannot transmit HIV. And then he brought this information to me, and then we read further and we were convinced that this is something that we can give it a try. That was around 2013, mid-2013. Late 2013, we decided to give it a try, and no PrEP, no condom, just relying on me being on treatment and virally suppressed. And come 2014 March, I fell pregnant. December 2014, I gave birth to my negative daughter. And throughout that year, we didn't use protection. And we thought, this is working. This is a reality. Treatment really prevents transmission. Then, since then, we never looked back. 8 years later, my husband is still HIV negative. We are relying on me taking my treatment well and being virally suppressed. My beautiful daughters are HIV negative. My husband is still HIV negative to date.
Thank you so much, Mandy. You are such a beautiful story. And coming from a point where my parents are a discordant couple as well, I always resonate because I know that it is very realistic to be in a discordant relationship, and it is very realistic to be virally suppressed and have a negative partner and not infect them sexually. And this is a fear most people living with HIV have to move away from. And as you equals you ambassadors, we have to continue, even though Africa is lagging behind and they don't want to believe the information. It's us as well to continue pushing. Remember, in the HIV space, we keep pushing for things until they are believed and they are taken up. So I just want you to encourage somebody living with HIV out there who's still struggling with appearance, with acceptance, with even relationships. Just one encouraging word to them as we finish this.
I attended a project, one of the sessions yesterday, and it was a beautiful pilot, a project that is done in South Africa, I think about 2 African countries, where there were voices of people with HIV. The project says, I can. With HIV treatment, I can. I can do anything. I can be anything. I can achieve anything and everything. I can be beautiful. I can be educated. I can have kids. I can get married. You can be successful with HIV. So the HIV treatment changed the narrative. When we're talking HIV, we're no longer talking death. I can do anything and achieve anything that a person without HIV can achieve. Look at us, look at you. And I was so inspired by your story. And it actually brought a little bit sadness in me, thinking of what your parents went through. But when I listened to the outcome or the happy ending, looking at you now, this beautiful, bold, strong, young girl lady that is actually leading in the HIV response. I'm so proud of you. So this is it. This is HIV now as compared to HIV then. This is HIV now as compared to HIV then. So we can do it. We can achieve anything. We can get married. You can be loved. You can have children. We are normal people, guys. So let's enjoy and embrace.
Very, very true. And I really, really hope you listened to this particular episode. I really hope that it inspires you, and I really hope you believe that you can. So from me to you, I just want to say, subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a lovely comment, and give this video a like. Let's meet on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.